Hello friends, it's Audrey from Odds and Ends, and welcome to the last day of hashtag Tony's Halloween 2026, hosted by the very lovely and talented Tony over at Tony's Magical Arts and Crafts. She loves everything spooky and shiny. So, with that being said, let's review what I've made so far. Okay, the 29th was Flowers and Eyes. I did this Japanese girl, sorceress, and she has second sight, and here are all her helper eyes showing her what's going on in the world. And then I added some little flower nail decals on here, and the sentiment is petals fall, hearts bloom, and there's some washi and some napkins. So that is my first one. And they're all done on 5x8 index cards. My second one is Spooky Tea Party. And we have a woodland witch who only has 4 fingers each. And she is making mushroom tea for her tea party. And you can see the mushrooms growing out of the skull. And the sentiment on this one is take calculated risks. I'm not sure I'm that big of a risk taker to drink an 8-fingered girl in the woods who's made me a mushroom tea. Seems a bit risky to me, but you never know, some people might. Okay, on the third day, which was May 1st, our prompt was ghosts. And I have ghosts playing hide and go seek and trick-or-treating in the mushroom forest. So we have 1 ghost, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the woodland creatures can sense the ghosts. The squirrel's on alert, and so is the bunny. My sentiment is spirit here because there's quite a few spirits. And this one is quite a shiny one, so I keep rotating it so maybe you can see everything a little bit better. And it is at night, so there's some stars. And this ghosty doesn't want to play with the other ghosty. He has no interest in playing tag or trick-or-treating in the middle of May, well, the start of May. So he says, I'm good. I'm just going to read my spooky story underneath my mushroom lights. So there we go. My next one is a spooky nature walk. So we have 2 spooks and 1 skeleton who are out doing a nature walk. And, everything looks normal until you realize the trees are blue. And the flowers are metallic purples and pinks. And we have bugs crawling in and out. But other than that, it's pretty normal spooky nature walk at night. So there is that. And they have zombie eyes. And the sentiment is, I'm sorry, did I just roll my eyes out loud? Because all their eyes are rolling. So next is Creature in the Garden. And I'm not quite sure what the fairies found. But the fairies are investigating something that's in their garden. Now they could have found a human. They could have found an otherworldly creature. They could have just found a practical joker. I don't know. This is just a snapshot of the past. I have no idea what they found. But she's got her lantern. She's blowing, making orbs of light to help them on their way. And I really like how this one came out. Okay, next one. A spider web. And I did a nighttime scene of a spider in a rose bush or peony bush or whatever flower you want. It's a little too many rows of flowers to be a rose, too many petals to be a rose. So looks more of a peonies, I guess. And then I the sentiment is cobweb, the network spread by a spider. And the spider is completely wing castellated, black on the spider and then clear on the web. And the gold represents the moonlight. Okay. On the 5th, our prompt was carnivorous plants. Oh, my favorite plant is Audrey the second, because he's in Little Shop of Horrors, because he's an alien plant from outer space who drinks blood. Now, how creepy and Halloween-y is that? Very much so. So, I did a floral background with gold, what I call a matrix. You can see the striations in there. We have a brick flower shop. I highlighted all the bricks in gold to coordinate with that. Outlined everything in a green metallic. One drop of sparkly blood coming from Seymour's finger. And then I added the sentiment, feed me, because Audrey the second is very hungry. And then the last one is spooky fairies. So I have 3 spooky fairies. And first of all, they're not any like fairies I'm used to. These are 3 old men fairies, and they have tiny, tiny, tiny little wings. And they're very creepy. And they're in the swamps, and they're doing witchcraft, and they're not witches, under the full glitter moon. We've got bats flying around, and it's obviously late because he is just yawning and he's ready for bed, and he's got his pot out with his ingredients, and he's trying to read this spell, and they are trying to perform a miracle. And a miracle is an extraordinary event manifesting divine intervention in human affairs. So I'm not sure what these fairies are thinking, why they're trying to produce a miracle in the human realm when they're obviously swamp fae. So not quite sure, but they are creepy and spooky. And yeah, so there's wing castella on all their wings, and in the candlelight, and on their glasses. And there is 3 different kinds of glitter on the moon. And why is there 3 kinds of glitter on the moon? Well, there was half of a nursery rhyme on that moon, and I didn't like it. So I covered it with lemonade glitter paste, and the words still shone through. So then I added some highly metallic glitter glue that wasn't paste, it was glue, and you could still see the words. So I sprinkled it, and it was very, very, very wet at this point in time, so I sprinkled it with lots of glitter, and then I stuck my bat in there, and I think it came out really cool. And who's to say one of the full moons in the land of Fae is not a glitter moon? And the images that I merged on here are from 3 different fairy tales out of my nursery rhymes and fairy tale book. So, but these were definitely the creepiest fairies I found, that have elf ears and tiny, tiny wings. And my dog is throwing toys that are really, really heavy and making a whole lot of noise. And she's being very, very, very bad today. So, thank you everyone for watching. I sure hope you like these 8 index cards I made, and I think they will eventually get put into a fairy journal. So they're definitely going to be good journaling cards for that, or pockets, or something. So one of these days you will see them again. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful week, And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.